Hey, 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 where is the love?
Where is the love? The world needs more
Hey,
love. Where is
where is
the
the
love?
love?
Where is the love? Yeah. It's right here. Where is
Right
the
here,
love? Is
right
right
here.
here. Right here now.
Hey, y'all, Gene is our musician. That's him and his band singing. Um, welcome to Where is the Love today. We
Yes,
have
Lord.
some stuff for y'all, and we're excited about it. So, welcome. I am Stephanie Hockenhull, and I am one of the hosts.
And I am Adisa Karanja Malik, aka Gene Williams, and I am the other host.
So, y'all, we welcome you here. We thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. We have some good stuff for you. You can watch us here, right here, wherever you're watching us at. We're in several places right now. We're here on our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute, and
Premier Fitness 0210.
also we're on TV right now only while we're airing this show and when they do a replay. But we're live right now on Roku and on Amazon Fire. So
Oh,
tune
yeah.
in there and just search POD space LIVE. And you can watch us live right now while we're doing this show. Also, you can watch us on PODTV.tv. That is on your computer. And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, and for those that are on my LinkedIn page, you can be watching us live right now as well. Uh,
Okay.
and for some reason, it don't look like it. Yes, it is. It's live right now on my LinkedIn page. So those are all the places you can be watching us right now. We have been talking about inner child work. So,
Yes, Lord.
Jean, you want to start?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so again, on episode 119, we talked about how inner child work can improve emotional regulation, which is major. We all have wounds, and we tend to get triggered in life. And so to be able to work on controlling your emotions in times when you feel triggered is a major aspect of growth. Um,
Yes.
all right, so starting the new episode, which is episode 120. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. So we're going to start by talking about number one is reparenting and self compassion. Reparenting, which means reparenting yourself, that
Yes.
inner child has been injured and has trauma. And self compassion. We often hear people talk about compassion for others, but it's rare to hear people talk about compassion for self.
Yes.
So this is important.
Yes. It's very important.
A core element of inner child work is the concept of reparenting, where the individuals learn to provide themselves with the love, care, and validation that they may not have received as children. Now, this can involve one, positive self talk, which is so important, so important. Um, Replacing self criticism with supportive and kind affirmations. You have to build yourself up. You have to be the first person to show yourself love. If you don't show yourself love, then how can you expect anyone else to do it for you? Number two is setting healthy boundaries, establishing limits and prioritizing personal needs, which may have been neglected in childhood. And number three is self-soothing techniques, developing strategies to comfort and calm oneself during moments of stress and anxiety. We got to find something that is constructive as opposed to destructive to help soothe ourselves during times. A lot of people tend to, uh, numb, drinking, drugs, sex, whatever. We all have our little ways of spending, but finding constructive ways of helping yourself deal with trauma is a big thing. Um,
Yes.
so number two is developing emotional resilience. Uh, by healing past wounds and learning self-compassion, individuals strengthen their emotional resilience, enabling them to approach challenges with greater confidence and security.
I'm
Number
sorry,
three,
son. I'm having to. We're not on Facebook, so I'm having to. So just. Oh, he said it's on there now.
okay.
Go ahead. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. I was trying to find. It's not on there, Mark.
All right, so number three is improving relationship with self. Self-love, self-knowledge is the first step of all knowledge. As individuals heal unresolved emotional wounds and meet their inner child's needs, they cultivate greater emotional well-being and self-love. This fosters self-acceptance and helps overcome feelings of low self-esteem while nurturing a kinder, more compassionate relationship with themselves. Again, the first relationship that you have, and the most important relationship that you have, is the relationship that you have with yourself. Can't give love if you ain't got love.
That's right. You
Can't
gotta.
give love from an empty vessel. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Love others as you have learned to love yourself. That
Hey,
means you
I
gotta
said
love yourself first.
first. Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah, because I mean, we tend to reflect the love that we have within ourselves onto other people. And if you don't have love, then you tend to lash out at other people and give them the same hell as you give yourself.
Right.
All right. So next, inner child work provides a pathway to address complex emotions stemming from childhood trauma and unmet needs. By equipping individuals with essential tools and teaching them to reparent their inner child, it can ease emotional pain, cultivate healthier coping mechanisms, and reduce symptoms of emotional dysregulation. This process fosters a deeper sense of inner peace and empowers individuals to respond to life's challenges more thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively.
Okay. Where you at? We having
How
some
inner child
problems.
work enables.
I'm sorry, son.
I got you. I mean, if you want me to do it, I got you.
Go ahead, cause and let me try to figure out where you are. Cause it's not showing on my personal page. Mark said it's on Love Misunderstood Institute, but my audience is on.
Got you. All right, so we're at how inner child work enables playful discovery.
Okay, I see it.
So first is reconnecting, reconnecting with joy. By healing inner child, individuals can rediscover a sense of playfulness, curiosity, and joy, allowing them to experience life with more lightness and enthusiasm. Excuse me. Hey, life is hard when you're miserable. I know someone very well who was married to someone for almost 20 years of my life who was always miserable. And it's like no matter, there were times of joy, but she always reverted back to like the pain and things of that nature, and it turned massively toxic and swamp like. Um, so you need to be able uh, to go back to being a child and allowing yourself to discover, allowing yourself to play, Allow yourself to not take life so seriously, because life can be a burden if that's your focus. If it feels like a burden, it will be a burden to you.
Yeah.
But if you allow yourself to discover and try different things and prioritize, you know, exploration and reconnecting with, finding the happiness that you had as a child. We were all happy as kids before outside influences change that narrative.
Yeah, and I want to add also, shoot, something you just said. I wanted to. Oh, so as a child, we know what we needed back
Mm-hmm.
then, whether it was to be embraced a lot, or to, to be nurtured, or to hear "I love you," or to have the attention that we desired, or to, to hear, yay, you did a good job, things like that. We
Right,
know the
praise.
things, yeah. So we know the things that we needed then. So now that we're an adult, we can give those things to that kid,
Yep.
so to speak. I say kid, child, we can give that to ourselves, because I know, for example, I know that, Mark said we all need to get positive reinforcements. Absolutely.
Lord. Yep.
So if we did a good job in school, or we feel like we did a good job, then, we went home and we took, say, our paper home. We made an A on our test and we took our paper home, or we made a B, got our paper home and showed it to our parents. We were excited. I made a B. And then they say, well, yeah, that's good, but you can do better. Well, that just deflates your balloon, lets the air out of your
Right.
balloon, because
Right.
you are excited about what you did and you wanted to be praised for what you did, but instead you were told that wasn't good enough. Maybe not in those words, but that wasn't good enough. You could
Right.
have done better, you
Right.
know. So now that we've had that experience and those memories come back to mind, we're like, oh, I know what I needed in that moment. So I know what I'm looking
Mhm.
for. So now I have to learn how to give that to myself, so that I don't have that same deflated feeling. You want to add
Right.
something?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, like we as people tend to, like it's good to encourage people to do better. But if they're feeling good about themselves, pay attention to the moment. They come in happy. Hey, mom, I got a B.
Yep.
Hey, good job. Good job. It could have been that they felt like they want to fail and they actually passed with a B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like you saying, well, that's good, but it like totally negates that they did good.
Yep.
Give them the praise and then help them improve. You ain't got to say the other part, but you can
Right.
do better. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave that out. Leave that part out. Keep that thought to yourself
Right.
and just help them. Because again, that like you said, it'll make a person feel deflated.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, just give me the praise. Don't that criticism, whether it's constructive or destructive. Sorry. Um, give praise. Leave the other stuff alone.
Yep.
Now, if they ask for some advice or what could I do to get better or whatever, then you offer that type of advice. But pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the people in your life and how they'll show you what they're looking for. You know what I mean? They come to you all starry eyed and happy and, mommy, look, mommy. Praise. Some big
Yep.
praise. Pick them up, spin them around. Have a
Right.
little party with them for a few seconds. You know what I mean?
And
And then they'll
don't.
do better without even you saying you should do better. Because
Right.
you showed that you were excited and you were praising them for their effort, they'll do better next time because they're going to want more of that.
Right. That's absolutely true. They are gonna want more of that, and we have to be willing to get. And when you love somebody, you are willing to give that to them. And instead of saying, well, I didn't get this when I was a kid, or I didn't hear this, or I didn't hear that. And so you stuck on what you didn't get. So now you're not giving to the other
Right.
person what they need. And so,
Exactly.
oh, I wish the word would come to me, because so many thoughts are going on in my head right now. But stop not giving what you didn't give. Change the
Right.
trajectory. You have the
Right.
choice to change the trajectory of the way things were, changing the generational cycles from the
Yeah.
way it was to the way you want it to be.
Right.
You do it. You have
Yeah.
a choice. Don't beat up your kid because you was beat up,
Right.
with words
Exactly.
or physically or mentally or emotionally. Don't do that.
Yep.
So go back to that inner child. How did I feel as a kid when I didn't get what I wanted? And I'm
Right.
not talking about material things. I'm talking about affection, love, praise, different things like that, the good things. If I didn't get it as a kid, I wanted it. So now it's my turn to give it. So think more
Right.
like that.
Right. Yep.
You
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was gonna say, and so like when a person acts out of that wound, because that's what they're doing. They're
Yep.
acting out of a wound. Um, and now you're wounding your child because you didn't get this. So now I'm gonna pass on this curse to you. And is that really what you want to do?
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
like we pass, and that's the definition of a generational curse.
Yep.
You're passing that on to the next generation because you didn't get XYZ. I'm gonna rob my child of this same thing that I didn't get, as opposed to, hmm, I didn't get XYZ, so let me give this child what I didn't have, so that
Right.
they won't have that deficit.
Yep. That the wounds and the
Right,
pain. Um,
right.
Dang it, you were saying something that I wanted to add to. Sorry. um, but it's just so important, y'all, to remember how we felt and think about, is that really what we want our kids to feel or to think? Um, hurt people. That's what I was
Oh
thinking.
yeah.
So
Yep.
we are hurt because we didn't get what we wanted. So
Right.
now we're bleeding onto other people. And so when we're bleeding onto other people, that
Yep.
damages them. And
Yep.
so is that something that you want to continue for cycles, uh, recycling over and over in generations to come?
Right.
So think
Yep.
about that. I love it when I hear people say, I was raised in a good family, a loving family, a family, that showed love, made sure we loved each other. And I love to hear that, and it's so hurtful to hear, when people, didn't get, what they needed. But
Right.
again, that's what inner child work is for. We're reinforcing that.
Right.
Give what you didn't have. Don't repeat selfish, hurtful,
Exactly. Right.
damaging cycles.
Exact third cycles. Yep. Exactly. If you didn't want it, don't give it to nobody else.
Right. And don't you forget it.
You know, don't forget about it.
Yeah, so would you go to the next part, please?
For sure. All right. So here's how to incorporate joy into your inner child work. Number one, very important. Prioritize play and creativity. Rediscover childhood hobbies. Think about activities you loved as a child and make time to engage in them again. This could include drawing, painting, playing with Legos, dancing, singing, or playing games. Whatever excited you as a kid, go back to that.
Yep.
Number two is embrace spontaneity. Um, Embrace spontaneity. Allow yourself to be impulsive and try new things, stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's important because there is no growth in comfort. Uh, you know who used to say all the time, um, I want to be, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to be, I'm not comfortable with this. It's like growth happens when you experience growing pains. You're stretching yourself from who you were to who you want to be. If you say that you want to be something, but you don't want to make the sacrifice, you don't want to deal with the pain of growth. And that's what it is. You're going to experience uncomfortability. If you, it's in the uncomfortable space where growth is. It's in comfortable
Absolutely.
space. It's in comfortable space where that swamp lives. That's where toxicity begins.
Yeah.
When you get comfortable and trying to uphold a false image or a false construct of yourself, like we're supposed to constantly evolve and change. Anything that is not growing is dead.
Yeah.
Is dead.
And I mean, you said this a number of times in the past. That's a very miserable person, you know, that lives like that.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
All right. And last, engage in imaginative play. Build a build a blanket fort. Play with dolls or toys, or engage in role playing games. Just do something that, like, you create a world that only you know about, and like explore it.
Yeah.
That not only does it open you up to your own creativity and remind you of being a child, but it also creates new neural pathways in your brain to open up new knowledge and new abilities that you either didn't know you had or that you didn't remember that you had.
Yeah.
You know, so
And that can be exciting too, because when you were just saying that, what came to mind is like getting a new toy,
hmm
and so a new toy can be anything. And I'm not just talking about for a kid. I'm talking about
right,
for like an adult getting a new
right,
phone, figuring out
right,
how it worked. Getting a new computer and figuring out how it worked,
right,
um, and what new things that's been added to computers. Those are just two examples for
right.
adults. So remember, a new toy can be anything that
An
you're
instrument,
I gotta check this out. I gotta do this. I need to look at this. I need to you that's how we are about new toys. And
right.
so the new toy, like I said, can be anything. Mark is saying some stuff over here. The secret room. I hear Stephanie has one with the long hallway, and you had one with secret monsters. G.
I did. You remember I used to like have toys, and I would take boxes, and so I was a huge like GI Joe and X Men. Those were my two things. So I had a whole bunch of GI Joes and X Men figurines. So what I'll do is I take a box. We get a package with something. I take that box and make it into a danger room. I
Yeah,
cut out doors and
I
cut out
remember.
windows. And man, do you remember that time? You remember that time that I had a danger room, and I got some car lights. You know, the lights shoot, what do you call them? Headlights, for the headlights. And I found some wiring. I took apart a clock and took the wiring from the clock. Oh man! And so first I connected it to a 9-volt battery. The positive and negative. I got a little bit of light for a hot second, and then went out. I was like, well, there's this. We got the wall plug over here. Let me try that.
You
You
started
remember
that
that?
fire. Oh Lord.
I'm not suggesting that anyone do that, but that's a great example of exploration and being imaginative. Because I was trying to create a light in the house that I created for my figurines. Now again,
Don't try this at
disclaimer:
home. Do not
do not
try
try
it.
that at home. But I remember shocking the hell out of myself. And then the whole wall was black. I was like, I tried to rub it off, and then you're like, "What's that burning smell?" Nothing, nothing, mom. Oh
Oh my
man,
goodness.
but but that's how I operate as a person. Like I break things apart into smaller pieces and try to figure out how that puzzle comes together to make things work. I do that with relationships, with an instrument, with music, you know, like I figure out those little aspects and try to figure out how they work together. So just going back to exploration, engage in imaginative play, create a whole new world in your mind, and that creates a whole new world within yourself, which projects outwardly to give you a different world. So man, it's just don't stick the wires in the wall plug.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. That was really silly of me.
So before we and I'm glad you're still alive.
Right, exactly. Me too.
So Mark said a couple things I want to get to before we move forward. So he
Right.
said, like the train station that my dad got me and my brother.
Yep.
How come we played more with it than we did? How come we played more with it than we did?
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
Right.
or and then he said, and how long did I spank you? We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah. I was like, let me think about that.
And then he said, how come we play with it more than we did?
Oh,
So
dad. So your
oh,
dad played with the train station more than y'all did. Hey,
because
well, he's
because
trying to
it
keep the
was
salary
fun to him
going.
too, and he
Right.
probably bought
Right.
it thinking I can play with this. I'm gonna give it to them, but this is something. Maybe it was something that he wanted and didn't get to have, or something that he had and he didn't get to play with it as much as he wanted to, or he always played with it and he just wanted to bring back that memory.
Right.
Uh, so you want to add something before we do nurture self compassion?
I'm good. You go.
Okay. So the next, here's how to incorporate joy into your inner child work. So number two is nurture self compassion. Practice positive self talk. Replace negative self talk with affirmations that reinforce your self worth, like I am loved. Practice the butterfly hug. This self soothing exercise can help process trauma and promote comfort. To do it, cross your hands over your chest, link your thumbs. I'm not going to do it. Place your fingertips below your collarbones and gently tap your chest while taking slow, deep breaths. That's interesting. I'll have to try that when I'm not on camera. Only because I got these earplugs on and they trying to come out. So let me leave that alone before I mess something up.
There you go. Right there.
Seek support. You doing it?
Yep.
Oh, do it again. Okay. All right, butterfly. So there's y'all's example. Mark said Gina's better than all the singers of Earth, Wind, and Fire. He said, I am better than Quincy Jones and Russell Simmons. Okay,
There
Mark,
you go.
Quincy
All right
Jones
now.
and Russell
Doing
Simmons.
big things. That's how we do. We affirm ourselves.
That's right. So, also seek support, connect with others on a similar journey, or seek professional guidance from a therapist specializing in inner child work. And then I'll let you do number three. You want to add anything?
No, that made me think about the other certification I need to work on. Anyway, definitely that's
So
something I need to work.
Mark said, and Stephanie is better than Oprah Winfrey.
There we go. There we
Mark,
go.
so that post that I put out today, talking about it was talking about me being me. I'll just say that, and having problems being me, and now I can be me. So thank you, Mark, for the compliment. So go, Gene. Revisit. Is that where we are? Revisit
Yeah,
positive memories. I want to finish this today. We
yeah,
might
yeah.
have a guest next week.
Cool. All right, so number three is revisit positive memories. Recall happy childhood moments. Remember how you felt during those moments. The sights, the smells, the sounds, and the feelings.
Yeah.
Recreate positive experiences. Have a picnic. Watch your favorite childhood movies, or listen to music you loved as a kid. There's I love the Goonies. The movie The Goonies always takes me back to my childhood. I can watch that weekly. um,
Yeah.
Number four is integrate joy into your daily life. Schedule playtime. Set aside dedicated time each day for fun activities. I shouldn't look at that. Okay. Take mindful breaks. Engage in activities that help you stay present and connected to your inner child's needs.
Yep.
Last but not least, create a joy list. Make a list of activities that bring you pure enjoyment with no pressure or judgment. Reconnecting with joy in inner child work involves integrating the playful spirit of childhood into adult life. Prioritize play, practicing self-compassion, revisiting positive memories, and integrating joy into daily routines can foster deep connection and greater emotional well-being.
So I want to add to this, create a joy list. Um, so y'all, I while he was reading that, it made me think of something that would be really cool to do is for us to take the time and sit and write a list of things that we wanted to do as a kid but didn't get to do, or even as an adult, things that we want to do that we think would be fun. And
Mm-hmm.
then, so I'm challenging whoever hears this. So the challenge is write that list, and then one by one, um, go and choose something off of the list and do it, and then check it off. So that helps to create some excitement about uh, doing something, doing something new. Um, and maybe doing it once a day or a couple times a week. You decide, I'm gonna mark off something on my list. I'm gonna
Right.
do something that's on my list, and so I can mark it off, and that could be fun. um
Yeah.
so that just came to me. You want to add something?
No, I love that idea though. Create a joy list, like list of things that you want to do to bring yourself happiness. That's great.
Yeah.
We need to frolic.
uh,
We need to frolic. We need to
who's
run around and just have fun. It's a just run around the field acting silly. Woo! Being childlike, silly and skipping and rolling the grass, getting triggers and itching and stuff. I did that yesterday.
oh
After
Lord.
the event I told you about. So the grandkids. Yes,
Yeah.
I have two grandkids now. Uh, I was chasing them around. And they were rolling in the grass, and we were running up hills and down hills, and I'm chasing them like I'm a big old monster, and it was fun. It was like, yeah, now now I can go home and rest. I got to be a child with children.
Yeah.
So I'm a big kid either way. I'm a
Yeah,
big old kid. I like to be silly. I like to laugh at myself. I like to do silly stuff like roll in the grass. I hate that I'd be itching later on, but it was worth it.
yeah. And they had fun. That's something they gonna always remember.
Oh yeah,
Whenever they see you, uh,
right.
they gonna want to do something like that. So Mark said a couple things. I thought I was going to be an architect as a kid. Even drew a building and thought I was going to be a weatherman. Even bought barometers and farmers almanac. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
That's
And then
dope.
and then he said, "When are me and Gene producing a Super Bowl show?"
um, soon, really soon. I think within the next 2 years, we'll be at that point where they'll be like, "Yeah, we want them to come and perform,"
Yep.
and Mark's gonna be the producer, so we
Yep.
got it. And you're gonna give a speech and have everybody, loving on themselves. Let's go for it. Let's
I
go.
love that. I love
Two
that.
years from now, 2027.
Yep.
Let's
Uh,
project that forward.
I like that. And then he said, "We need to celebrate our inner child. I am going to Tennessee and take on Gene in air hockey."
Hey, let's go. You'll probably win. I'm
That's
pretty good, but it's been a minute.
yeah. That sounds like fun.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so you want to add anything before we go to the next part?
Nah, let's go ahead.
Okay, boosting creativity. A healed inner child can unlock a wellspring of creativity and imagination, fostering a more spontaneous and expressive approach to life. Developing a sense of wonder. Inner child work can help individuals appreciate the beauty and wonder of the world around them, fostering a sense of awe and curiosity.
Yep.
Enhancing relationships. A healed inner child can contribute to healthier and more fulfilling relationships by promoting empathy, vulnerability, and authentic connection. Want to add anything?
No, but that's important. Like the more healed you are, the healthier your relationship will be.
Yeah.
Um, when you are walking with wounds that are still less smoking.
You what?
Sorry, that's a plug. It's a plug towards my song April. Our song April wounds. That's mine. I
Okay.
got wounds that are still less smoking.
Oh yeah, I have heard that. Heard that one. I got
Right.
ones. Yep.
That is still less smoking. But yeah, so when a person is operating with smoking or open wounds, you tend to lash out at your partner or uh, withdraw. Things that could be detrimental to the relationship. So a person with a healed inner child is aware and they know how to emotionally regulate and they know how to uh, gauge, okay, this is what I'm feeling in this moment and respond as opposed to react.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yes.
It's easy to, if someone smacks you, to smack them right back. But it takes the person who, and I'm literally, I mean, if someone smacks you, you might want to smack them back. Anyway,
To let them know, don't do that again.
don't you ever do that again. Smack, smack! Do it again. Now what? You might get smacked back. Now,
That'll help them think
you
before
gotta
they
set a
try.
firm boundary. The firm boundary. You smack me, I smack you back.
Right.
But
And that's the
no,
way it is.
that's
It's
the way
like
it
that.
goes.
And that's the way it
Huh. Right. Huh. But just when you're at a space where you are healing, you are able to take a step back into the position of the observer and recognize that although it happened to you personally, 9 times out of 10, the person's actions were not personal. They're acting from a wound. And when you can respond as a person who is conscious and cognizant of the situation in the moment, then you can respond from a higher consciousness, a higher vibration, or a higher level of awareness. Uh, and that helps enhance relationships because it's easy to just they're going on so you go on. That's easy. It takes work to approach a situation from a calm, focused, aware standpoint. And that's what doing that inner child work does. When you're aware of, I have this wound and this triggered me. And then you're able to step back. It's like, wait a minute now. Let me take a breath. Let me take about 10. I'm going to take 10 breaths and think about this situation before I say anything. It's easy to be like, you made this. It's easy to do that. That's easy. That's easy.
Yep,
But it takes a mature person to step back and be like, you know what?
absolutely.
Although that upset me, I I can tell that they're acting from a woman. And when you're able to do that and then respond from the place of a person who recognizes that this person is acting from a wound,
Yeah,
although I was triggered, it wasn't personal. You still have that conversation. Okay, now listen, you did this, and I understand that you're acting like this because of this. However, I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that felt. That came off this way to me, and now we need to make adjustments.
yeah.
What can we do?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so true. And shoot, when you were talking about the wound, um, oh, so when you were talking about you can react or respond,
Hmm.
made me think of Albert Einstein. I can rarely ever remember who said it, but I remember it. But this time I remember who actually said it.
Hmm.
Albert Einstein said you can't solve a problem on the same level of consciousness that it was created on.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if somebody is, you know, I'll just say it like this: if somebody's acting a fool and you respond in the same with the same reaction, then nothing's gonna get solved
Right.
because
Same energy. Yeah.
both people are acting a fool, you know, or
Right. Right.
not acting in a mature way. So,
Right.
um,
There was a lot of low vibrational
yeah,
issues.
yep. You want to add something or go to the next part?
Now let's go to the next one.
Okay, go ahead. Finding freedom and
All right.
safety.
So finding freedom and safety by addressing past hurts and building self-compassion. Inner child work can create a sense of safety and freedom, allowing individuals to express themselves more authentically and embrace new experiences. In essence, inner child work is about healing the past to create a more joyful, authentic, and fulfilling future.
So we got done early. Um,
Oh yeah.
so let's have some conversation here. I didn't realize because I wasn't looking ahead. But can you think of some things that you may have wanted to do as a child? Some fun things. Well, you already said I get. Well, you were talking about you and the kids last night rolling around. Can you think
Right.
of on the ground? Can you think of anything else that as a kid you wanted to do and you didn't get to do that you might want to try now as an adult to, deal with that creative inner child side?
To be completely honest with you, I I did a lot of this stuff that I wanted to as a kid. Playing sports, playing with friends, playing tag, jumping off stuff, or you know, creating. I remember myself and Andrew and a few other friends. Like we were the Power Rangers, and we even came up with our own version of it. I would draw pictures, and we would all have powers and colors and stuff like that, and we would be pretending that we're fighting a big old monster. Like
Yeah.
we would do that often. So that yeah, there was thankfully I did I think most of what I wanted to, explore, imaginative play and just I didn't really like think of it like this is gonna build who I am as an adult. It was just like me being a child and exploring my imagination and just having fun. And we like this TV show. Oh, you like that TV show? Well, how about we create, a group where we're doing this and we had a whole narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fun. So I do that a lot as an adult now. It's different, obviously, but yeah, I still create opportunities for myself to just explore things and try different stuff. Um, and actually, I feel like one of my biggest gifts is my adaptability and versatility. Um, and I was able to develop that as a kid just because I tried a lot of different stuff. I was around a lot of different people, from different cultures, different colors, you know. And now it's like, as an adult, it's like all of that stuff has actually helped me to be a more diverse, more well-rounded person, you know. Yeah.
And that's really good. You want to add something to it?
Well, I think maybe one thing that I do wish that there was. I know we moved around quite a bit, so maybe like living in one place longer, but then I wouldn't be as diverse as I am. You know what I mean? So it's like uh, sometimes I see people with like and I have a lifelong friend. I have several lifelong friends, but we didn't grow up around each other. We just we stay connected. Like Mike, you know, I've known him since I was 9 years old. He's still my best friend to this day.
Yeah.
35 years later, we're still best friends, but it would have been cool to grow up around and see him more often than I did. Same with John and Javon. You know, we were teenagers, and we speak, but it's not super often. But that would have been cool to just have that consistency.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like yeah, I explored a lot of stuff, and I was blessed with opportunity because of you. You gave me the opportunity to explore and be myself. So thank you for that.
Yeah. You're welcome. I was thinking while you were talking about your friends and how how much things has changed from when I was a kid to while y'all were kids and then now the kids. And so one
Right,
of the thoughts that I had is how in elementary school we had to change schools and be bused across town because they were changing and trying to you know put everybody together and
right.
different nationalities and all of that. And so I had a friend.
Integration.
Yeah, integration. And I was gonna say integrate, and I was like, no, segregate and separate, ain't it?
Right, right.
Yeah. So I didn't say it because I was like, but anyway. So I had a couple friends that in elementary school that would go home for lunch, and they didn't live that far from the school, and so there was a couple times, and I remember the girl's name too. Uh, I remember her whole name. Her first name was
Mhm.
Denise. I ain't gonna say her last name, but anyway, I was able to. But I remember her name. So I was able to go to her house a few times, and then there was a store, like a little shopping center not far from the school, and then so there was another girl that I was given permission to go to the store, with her, during our lunch hour, and there was some cinnamon hot candy or gum. It was cinnamon hot, and it was like a pellet. And
Mhm.
so we loved getting those. But Mama, had to write a note to say it was okay for me to go, to their house or to go to the store But I mean, you can't do stuff like that now. And even as y'all were growing up, that changed. You had to
Mhm.
start being more watchful and more alert of, what your kids were doing and who was around and all of that. And now, kids are disappearing all over the place, and you
Yeah,
know, and people don't even know where they are. And haven't seen them for years and all of that different kind of stuff. And so things have changed a lot. But I'm also glad that, mama, allowed us to have relationships with different nationalities and all of that. And um, I'm just grateful for stuff like that because we were allowed to play and to be friends, and people didn't seem to make, I guess it depended on who you were and who you were around and where you lived and all of that, where people would make, big
differences.
differences of, you know, uh, integrating, nationalities, you know. So I'm grateful that I was able to play with those friends and to have, friends like that and to be able to be free, to go and spend time with them. So that
Yeah.
meant a lot. You want to
Mhm.
add something else?
Well, actually, I saw something on the bottom of this that I'd like to read.
Okay, go
If
ahead.
that's okay.
Um, if it's at the very bottom, sorry, I put that on there, but that's part of the post. But you can go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see the hashtag.
Yeah, I
Okay, got
just put it on there because I was in a hurry and I was like, I got to put it somewhere. But you can go ahead and address it.
you. Okay. All right. So the freedom and peace you're searching for begins with the inner child, the child inside you, the one who still needs your love.
Yeah,
Um, your inner child is still with you, waiting to be seen, heard, and loved.
yeah,
Uh, Now, obviously, today on our show, we dove into inner child work, which is a powerful path to healing old wounds, reparenting yourself with love, and rediscovering joy. So, uh, so just a synopsis or an overview, should I say, of how to explore inner child work. First, you want to replace self-criticism with self-compassion.
yeah,
Two is set healthy boundaries and protect self-loathing. Practice, sorry, uh, soothing. I said it wrong. Why did I say loathing? I don't know. Set healthy boundaries. Because who wants to practice self-loathing? I mean, my goodness. Anyway, set healthy boundaries and practice self-soothing.
yeah,
Reconnect with play, creativity, and wonder. Build emotional resilience and healthier relationships. Healing your inner child isn't about going backwards. It's about moving forward with freedom, authenticity, and peace. And I also want to add another word, awareness.
yeah.
Like that's so important. So as you tuned in here today, I hope that you have realized that we have provided tools to help you heal your inner child and take the first step towards embracing the child within you. You absolutely deserve to have peace.
Yeah. Yes. um, it's so important to heal. Yesterday, when I was on the panel, and I, introduced our organization. I was saying that, um, Love Misunderstood Institute. At Love Misunderstood Institute, we educate about bullying, but we promote peace, love, kindness, um, and there's a couple other words, and healing. And then I said,
Yep.
we all carry around this backpack full of stuff, from
Mhm.
childhood and just throughout our lives and not getting rid of it. And so we promote healing. And then I told them, we've been talking about inner child work. And so I was telling them, it's so important to address those childhood wounds, in order to start healing, because we've been carrying it for so long. And I said, and so, healing is so important to us. And that's why we, you know, talk about it, and that's why we promote it. Um,
Right.
yeah, so it's so important to not just experience things, but when they're bad things that we're experiencing, it's so important to want to choose to heal, in those areas, instead of, covering up and saying, oh, it didn't happen, or it didn't hurt it that bad, or oh, that was so long ago. It came up because it's time to deal with it. We can't keep
Right.
carrying around this stuff. um, and going back to what you were talking about those wounds, those are wounds that are opening up again. When they come back to mind, they're open back up for a reason.
Yep.
So what can I learn from this? What does this mean? What happened? Ask questions about it.
Right.
Even though you're talking to yourself, it's still about asking questions. Why did this happen? What was I doing? How was I thinking? How did I feel? All of those are important questions to get past this moment and to get past this feeling. And eventually, as you continue to address those issues and be honest with yourself, about those things, then you start healing. And then you think
Right.
about it again, and it doesn't have that same power because you dealt with it. So
Right.
you might think, well, I remember when I used to think about that, I would get so angry. I would want to fight, or I would start
Yeah.
yelling at people, or I would start being mean to people. But now I think about it, and it still bothers me a little bit, but it don't have that same power. So I don't do all of those things and respond and react the way that I used to, because I'm in a better place,
Yep.
in my mind,
Yep.
uh, with receiving, now that I'm receiving that information again. You want to add something?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that awareness that you have an issue, and then doing the active work to heal it. And like you said, knowing like when you get triggered, because triggers happen, and
Yeah.
it just shows that there's still room for healing, still room for growth there.
Yep.
Um, and just that's the time to dial in. Okay, I still feel it's not like you said. It's not as I'm not as charged as I was before. However, I still feel it,
Yeah.
and I need to address it in a way. So yeah, yeah, yeah,
So this has been really good talking about inner child work, and we um, will probably have a guest next week on our show. But for now, we're done talking about inner child work. And we hope that this information that we provided and that we've shared, the tips, the tools, um, our experiences, hopefully that has helped and will change. You'll start thinking more about healing,
right,
than you do about hurting. When you
right,
hurt, is you have a choice. Do I want to continue to experience this hurt, or do I want to heal? So no matter what it is you're going through. So we hope all of this information has really helped. Thank you for allowing us to share in your ear space. Take up some of your ear space to learn this. You want to add any final things before we go?
yeah. Embrace uh, curiosity, embrace um, creativity. You know, do your best to not take everything so seriously, because that's
Yep.
draining.
Yep.
Um, just know that healing is on the other side of every pain that you go through, and even on the other side of the pain is growth.
Yep.
So just be aware, do the work, be consistent, and show yourself love, compassion, empathy, and grace.
That's good. All right, y'all. So we are out for today. So we send you peace, send you love. Take care. See you next Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care. Bye for now.